extra chanting books for me? Oh, you are here. I need one. Do I need one? Can I have that extra one? Oh, you're giving me that one. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we'll start with a short chanting as usual, and the chanting is on page 1 of this booklet. I mean, we don't see page numbers, but Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyaṃ-pi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyaṃ-pi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyaṃ-pi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Pānātipātā vēramaṇī sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Adinādāna vēramaṇī sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vēramaṇī sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Musāvādā vēramaṇī sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Surāmeraya majjapamā datthānā vēramaṇī sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please join me in some guided meditation from hereafter for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will begin our discussion. You may close your eyes and notice your posture, the position of your skull, your shoulders, your spine, and the position of your hands and your fingers. It's best you stay as quiet as possible during this short guided meditation session, respecting and honoring the space where other people are also trying to concentrate on the instructions. It's the time to let go and let be. Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, physical sensations, and thinking are not given much priority during this time. Notice the inhaling and exhaling. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in, release. Deep breath in and release. Continue doing so until you feel in tuned with your inhaling and exhaling. Let everything become so quiet. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out, tranquilizing the bodily formations. Soft and gentle, you begin to be more aware of your inhaling and exhaling, air going through and coming out. The rest of the body begin to disappear from your attention. Every time you get distracted, use your in-breath and out-breath to anchor, as an anchor to come back to your awareness on inhaling and exhaling. It's very small scope that you have to focus. So small that it has to be consistent and continuous, as every breath is new and is happening now. New and now. If you encounter any pain in any part of your body, please adjust mindfully and come back to your inhaling and exhaling awareness. Allow that movement too to drop off from your attention slowly as the scope of it becomes smaller and smaller. Your mind and this experience become one, so your attention will move or shift to expansion of your mind. It's time to wrap up, but with a loving thought. Think about someone who is very significant to you. And notice a good quality that this person has. And then you want to say, I appreciate this quality of you. I appreciate that you are not a control freak. I appreciate your kind, wise attitude towards everything. I appreciate that you don't get angry. I appreciate that you put up with my presence. You are kind. You are generous with some stuff that you offer. And you are a gift. May my karma and your karma merge in a positive way, creating good karma to the beings that we see and we don't see. Starting from that, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. You may open your eyes slowly. So we will go to the sutra. I'm not sure if you have a copy. Let me see. No. Do you have an extra copy? Yeah, Mahā Sīhanāda Sutta. Oh, great. Can you share it with her? I was looking for something. No, that's okay. Yeah, it's here. This is something. And what I want to share with you is, before this discussion, it's about this thing that I found very interesting. I'm sure some of you may have heard of it. It's about not telling anybody until you get something accomplished. So don't tell anyone what you're doing until it's done. Outside energy can throw off goals. And usually on Saturdays we discuss things like this, Saturday mornings, because it has to be interesting to me. So that's how I make Saturday interesting for me, besides meditation. So I like to read a little bit of that. So this is someone in Twitter saying, don't tell anyone what you're doing until it's done. Outside energy can throw off goals. So it has 12,000 likes in Twitter. So somebody began this article. Today I saw a quote that said so and so. When I saw it, I realized it makes a lot of sense. I believe this is 100% true. People that have negative intentions and don't want to see you succeed can wish you harm, and that may actually affect the outcome of your situation. It's not that they wish anyone harm. I don't do it in my mind. I never wish anyone harm. But it's just you may have a thought that maybe this person isn't able to accomplish it. It's
But in a modern world, they say if you want to accomplish them, for instance, like if you want to stop smoking, you tell.
That's not that. This is about some secret success stories that you want to open a company and you don't tell anybody. If you want to stop smoking, tell all your friends. They don't bring cigarettes to you. That's a different story. So one needs to be very careful when sharing your ideas with friends and even family members. I believe this since my childhood. But when I share something, I lose my excitement about it. So I don't feel like accomplishing it because I got the reward already. So there is no reward to look forward to. You see that? So this article also has mentioned that. Some may appear to love you, but within they wish you bad. I don't believe that. That can be a source of negative energy that can affect your achievements. What I've personally realized is anytime I share a business idea or any idea with someone, I find it hard to accomplish it. But when I keep it to myself, I'm able to get myself motivated till I get things done. So it's psychological that way. But of course, if you need an expert opinion on what you are up to, you can seek it, but not directly from people around you. Maybe not your wife or husband. I don't say, I'm just kidding, right? Part of the problem also is praise. I try not to talk about things that aren't finished because when you do, you are triggering the same kind of reward mechanisms that you would when you finish. This has the detrimental effect of making it harder to finish as you have already got your prize. You see that? You know what? I stopped sharing my dreams and intentions years ago because other people would try and poke holes in my plan or tell me things were impossible. So it goes on. If you want this article, I can share it with you. This is no time to go through the whole thing. But I don't have such goals. I don't have goals of becoming Dalai Lama in United States or anything like that. It's interesting. Sometimes the psychological aspect of it. When it's so exciting and you want to have coffee with someone on it, maybe you are just wasting your energy there.
Is it written by Sri Lanka?
No.
Because the culture of our country is like that.
Yeah. Right.
But I think what they say is make a patent. Make sure you patent your idea before you tell anybody.
Make sure you what?
Make a patent, so that legally that it's your idea, so that it's still that thing. That's all I can think of.
But I think in Western world there is quite opposite. They
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? I don't know. I mean, they are always to tell others.
But
Unless it is a business.
until it is I think what he's saying is until you can make it
Accom-
happen.
yeah, accomplish.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Pretty much, right?
yeah,
And I see how the excitement will be gone the moment you share it.
yeah,
You know, you really have to keep it to yourself until
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens. That part makes sense.
Right. Well, before something happens, some people say, I don't want to be too excited about it because it's yet to happen. Because then if it doesn't happen, you get disappointed. Say you are expecting for admission to a PhD position in some university, and you talk about it, and it doesn't happen, and then you feel down, and you may think it didn't happen because I shared it with so and so person.
That's right.
So anyway, it's completely outside of the sutra discussion today, but I couldn't help but share it with you all. No, it does relate, because next we talk about 4 kind of intrepidity, courageousness of the Buddha. So why not? So intrepidity here means resolute courageousness. So that's on page 3. That's where we stopped earlier. So 4 kinds of intrepidity. This is the Buddha talking about himself. Do you have a copy? Oh, yeah, you can join together. Sometimes it's good to see the words. Thank you. So, intrepidity. Oh, you don't. Resolute courageousness, dauntlessness, braveness, bravery, courage, courageousness, a quality of spirit that enables you to face danger or pain without showing fear. Well, this I learned in Vancouver. Well, not the way the Buddha has it. So we drove about 8 hours through Edmonton. Well, we stopped at Jasper and then came towards Vancouver. We were at the last exit of the highway, and the truck before us happened to brake, and the pickup truck behind it also stopped. So I was driving, I was behind, and I had little or less room to make a decision. I did brake, and then I stopped, but I knew the tipper truck behind me was coming so fast towards us. I gave up my life at that moment. I knew that was it. But fortunately, he was a good driver. He decided to make a quick left turn and hit on those concrete barriers. Because it was really, that is scary. And the 2 monks with me, they just were in a conversation. They didn't notice anything. I could see it coming because I see the side mirror. I did take our vehicle a little bit forward and almost nearly touched the pickup truck in front of me. But then I realized at that moment how quickly our lives can disappear. No more sutra discussions. You have had things happen like that in life, but also we never learn. When I shared this story, somebody said, there was this friend of mine who had cancer, and they were very daunted, and then now they have forgotten that they had it because they got recovered, and again years later it has recurred, and then they are back trying to put pieces together. So it's like that. It's just one experience. And after that I dropped those monks at Vancouver Saray Temple, crossed the border, drove 2.5 hours to Seattle to see my friend. It was not a good time to drive after all that happened. But you know what, it's just you cope with it. Anyway, let's get to the sutra. Sariputta, so this is a name of a monk who was a very senior, one of the two chief disciples of the Buddha. The Buddha says, Sariputta, the Tathagata or the Buddha has these 4 kinds of intrepidity, possessing which he claims the herd leader's place, roars his lion's roar in the assemblies, and sets rolling the wheel of Brahma. So wheel of Brahma is truth, wheel, the righteousness. What are the 4? Here I see no ground on which any recluse or Brahman or God or Mara, Mara means the killer, the evil one who determines when you die, Brahma, which is a supreme higher being, or anyone at all in the world could, in accordance with the teachings, accuse me thus. While you claim full enlightenment, you are not fully enlightened in regard to certain things. And seeing no ground for that, I abide in safety, fearlessness, and intrepidity. Intrepidity, yeah. So that's, nobody can say he's not really enlightened. And he didn't say, even in a different sutra, he said, I didn't claim to be enlightened until such and such things happened in my life. He has gone so far in meditation, even then he didn't claim the state of a Buddha. So until he saw the true nature, until he found the answers to his questions and he was sure of them, was very confident on them, he didn't say that. He didn't say, I'm the Buddha. So I think it's number 26, Arya Pariyesana Sutta, Noble Search, that we discussed here. There he says that, until this thing happened, I never said I am the Buddha. And number 24, I see no ground on which any recluse or anyone at all could accuse me thus. While you claim to have destroyed the defilements, the taints, these taints are undestroyed by you. He surely have destroyed his mental defilements. Number 25, which is third one, I see no ground on which any recluse or anyone at all could accuse me thus. Those things called obstructions by you are not able to obstruct one who engages in them. So, hindrances, for example, they have the ability to hinder your path and progress. Their duty is to. So the Buddha said these are hindrances, and they truly are hindrances. And 26, I see no ground on which any recluse or anyone at all could accuse me. When you teach the teachings to someone, it does not lead him, when he practices it, to the complete destruction of suffering. So when the Buddha says it destroys suffering, it does destroy. So these are the 4 things of intrepidity. That he is a Buddha, and he has, what's the other one? Destroyed his defilements. And the other thing is about when he says these are obstructions, these are. And the other one is his teachings lead to destruction of ending of suffering. And 8 assemblies. So that's number 29. Sariputta, there are these 8 assemblies. What are the 8? An assembly of nobles, an assembly of Brahmans, an assembly of householders, an assembly of recluses, an assembly of gods of the heaven, of the 4 great kings. So 4 great kings are Vesavana, Viruda, Virupaksha, Vaisravana, Dhritarashtra, Vaisravana, Viruda, Virupaksha. Right? Yeah. Dhritarashtra, Viruda, Virupaksha, and Vaisravana. They are the kings protecting the 4 directions of the universe.
You mean the gods?
Yeah, the god kings. And they have huge followings because they are in that position because of the power they gained, and they are born in that position. Mighty beings, this is just Buddhist stuff. Just don't try to understand. I'm telling you. Okay. These are just Buddhist ideology, right? About somebody protecting four directions, So just don't wrestle with these things. You're welcome. An assembly of gods of the heaven of 33, 33 heavens, and then they have, not 33 heavens, 33 Tavatinsa heaven. So Tavatinsa it's a number, 33. And what I understand is that there are mighty 33 beings and their followings. It's one heaven where they have many beings born. So it's one of the planes, heaven of the 33. It's one heaven with 33 mighty beings. Okay? Because in Buddhism, we talk about a pantheon of gods, not just the God. So there's no question about creator in Buddhism, but instead the Buddha says any being who has so and so qualities is able to appear in heaven, and their mind is prepared for it because of the things they do in their human life or because of their previous karmic consequences. Like you all can be human beings now, but you may have done things that you trigger those at your death and you go to heaven. You are in a heavenly state of mind, in other words. Or you do heavenly things like being very generous, and that gives you so much happiness, and you are a heavenly being that way. You are an angel, that's how people say. And even upon death, some people who remember you will always wish that so and so person must be a heavenly being, may his blessings be with me, or may her blessings be with me. Like sometimes we think that way about parents when they have died. May my parents must be watching me from afar. Things like that. But I ask my parents not to. I want them to end this karmic bond within this lifetime. My mom has so much attachment towards me, and I think my dad too, despite him being a monk. Yeah, but doesn't help. Yeah, just becoming a Buddhist priest doesn't solve all the problems, right? So his mind has to be one. He's trying, but I'm just telling that I'm glad he doesn't understand English, that he doesn't listen to these talks. So I know, yeah. We communicate less because he's living in forest and there's hardly any connectivity. So, yeah. I want to, so much, not that I'm attached to, but I think he also wants to communicate with me about Dhamma and different things. It doesn't happen that much. He has to come out of the forest and make that call. And he knows that there's a time difference also here. So, anyway. Assembly of Mara's retinue. So, Mara, the evil one, has a group. An assembly of Brahmas, really mighty beings. Possessing these 4 kinds of interpredity, the Tathagata approaches and enters these 8 assemblies. So, wherever he goes, whether he goes to any assembly of these, whether he goes to heaven, to Brahma world, to Mara's retinue, Mara, the evil one, is also in some ways a being who has some divine skills. So he has an assembly, people that like him and follow him. So the Buddha is fearless because what he says is true, and he doesn't have anything he doesn't need to defend himself, because sometimes when what you are saying is not true, you feel uncomfortable appearing in front of such groups. But he doesn't feel that way. He has already removed that fear. Number 30. I recall having approached many hundred assemblies of nobles, many hundred assemblies of Brahmas, many hundred assemblies of householders, many hundred assemblies of recluses, many hundred assemblies of gods of the heaven of the 4 great kings, many hundred assemblies of gods of the heaven of the 33, many hundred assemblies of Mara's retinue, many hundred assemblies of Brahmas. And formerly I had sat with them there and talked with them and held conversations with them, yet I see no ground for thinking that fear or timidity might come upon me there. And seeing no ground for that, I abide in safety, fearlessness, and intrepidity. Sariputta, when I know and see thus, should anyone say of me, he will wind up in hell. If anyone say Buddha is not Buddha, just don't follow him, he is so and so, just don't listen. That person is saying that because he has a wrong view about the way of the Buddha's conduct, and that way, that wrong view can lead him anywhere. That's what this means. Usually not to a better place, because mind cultivation is not far. Okay, now I don't know your background. What's your name? Patrice. So this is not talking about those Christians or Muslims, right? They have different ideas about who the Buddha is, but not everybody criticizes a being who has developed, cultivated their minds. It's just that they don't know, right? In this world it has not been taught, but just because they don't know it, they never go to hell, because their belief is to do good and to be born to go to God, which is also good. It takes you somewhere better. What is missing is whole thing about cultivating the mind and not even getting there. That's Buddhist and South Asian and all kinds of mental development philosophy. So that existed in Asia, while the other things came up in other parts, and now in this world all these are now communicating, telling people not to hate each other for any reason. There's no use. Just understand and appreciate and accept and welcome. So 5 destinations and Nibbana in brief. So let's do that part, and then we will, it's about the time to wrap up, right? Sariputta, there are these 5 destinations. What are the 5? Hell, the animal realm, the realm of ghosts, human beings, and gods. I understand hell and the path and way leading to hell, and I also understand how one who has entered this path will, on the dissolution of the body after death, reappear in a state of deprivation, in an unhappy destination, in perdition, in hell. Are you not reading today? Please read. I understand the animal realm and the path and way leading to the animal realm, and I also understand how one who has entered this path will, on the dissolution of the body after death, reappear in the animal realm. I understand the realm of ghosts and the path and way leading to the realm of ghosts, and I also understand how one who has entered that path will, on the dissolution of the body after death, reappear in the realm of ghosts. I understand human beings and the path and way leading to the human world, and I also understand how one who has entered that path will, on the dissolution of the body after death, reappear among human beings. I understand the gods and the path and way leading to the world of the gods. And I also understand how one who has entered this path will, on the dissolution of the body after death, reappear in a happy destination in the heavenly world. So notice this quote, I also understand how one who has entered this path. So you saw that in every destination. So this path refers to someone who is doing humanly things will be born a human. Nowadays, humanly things has been justified in a way. I'm a human being. That's why I make mistakes. That's a different thing. Here, it's just human mindset, not an animal mindset, not a mindset of a heavenly being, not a mindset of a ghost. What's the other one? Not a mindset of hell. Hell mind leads to hell mind. So hell path leads to hell path, path to hell. So just like that. So when the Buddha says that, he sees hell realm, he sees the heavenly realms, he sees human, he sees, because some people practiced as dogs, slept as dogs, licked stuff as dogs, and they came to the Buddha and asked, what is the result of doing this? I did it as my practice for ending my suffering. And the Buddha didn't respond. The second time, third time, he didn't respond. Because he knew if he responded, this man will be upset. So when the man insisted, where will I be born? What is my destination? The Buddha said, I'm sorry to say, you have practiced things as a dog, so you will be born as a dog. The man began crying. And the Buddha said, well, you still have your lifetime to come back to the human mindset and change the way you behave, think, and understand things in the world. So there are some dogs who are like human beings. There are some humans who are like hellish beings. They live in a they have so many good things, but because of misery, the greediness, they don't even enjoy the wealth they have in life. So just like that. Anyway, so we will stop there because we have to. Because it's never ending, right? So, but I like it. I like to learn these things. So let's meet next week again with this same sutra, and this talk will be uploaded to YouTube. And those who don't have the email, don't receive my emails, please write it down in a piece of paper there and then give it to me.
There was a question the other day when we get together, and the name, why is the lion roar?
Huh?
There was a question why it was named lion roar.
Lion's roar? Because lion here is the Buddha. So lion is the king of animals. Yeah. When he makes the roar, everybody knows that there's nothing beyond. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
For me, it sounded like, does he make a loud noise?
Oh, no. The Buddha was someone who was very quiet all the time. He respected solitude and quietness. When some monks came from far away and they were noisy, the Buddha didn't even go to meet them. He was like, what's that noise out there? Can they be quiet? So
His words have the impact of the roar.
His words do have an impact of a roar, and if anybody challenges him, then they are sure to be defeated. Of course, he had that kind of a personality. It's so rare to see someone like that. Oh, I wish we could see such a person. So we are seeing him through these discourses. That's why we should little bit deter from the deeper, profound teachings, discussions, and then come to understand who actually the Buddha is. And now I see why Pujita is not here today. He likes philosophy, he likes analyzing, he knows what's to expect today. He's not here. I'm going to send this to him. Anyway, so let's transfer merits and end the discussion. That's the last page of this booklet. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Excellent. So there's tea downstairs. Please help yourself. Some decaf tea.